JC Hoyt had us at a high level, even making an NCAA tournament. I believe that was a COVID year. But I wanted to get back to that. I wanted to get back to the excitement. I wanted to get back to the passion. I wanted to recapture our fan base. And Candy was at the top of the list. And she's a proven winner. She's coached at multiple levels. And when you talk about timing of when we want to take that rude leap, we want to go to that next level, Candy fits into our scheme perfectly. And up to this point, she's done an incredible job with recruiting. She's done a sensational job with putting her staff together and really coming into our culture and just going on a sprint to make us better. And so that's been really good to see.
Yeah, and what were those first conversations like? Because, this is a person that was one of the youngest coaches probably ever in college basketball, initially with the Roos. But what were those initial conversations like about bringing her back? She seems fired up. So,
well, Candy's a competitor, right? So she wanted to make sure that there was a commitment from myself, a commitment from Chancellor Agrawal, that we were going to give her the tools needed to not only win games, but to win the Summit League. And we know that South Dakota State has won our league for some time now. But you bring a coach like Candy here and you equip her with what she needs from a talent standpoint. And that dovetails into NIL and rev share and making sure that she has a budget for that. And I've been thoroughly committed to that. And she went out and built an incredible roster of talent, but actually really good kids.
What was your process in getting the Bennett sisters back on campus as well? Because they're coming off a huge breakout season kind of for both of them. And bringing them back really does set a foundation for Candy and her whole staff to be able to have two cornerstone players to build around as they move forward with this thing.
I felt like they were critical to building our foundation and in our pursuit of winning a Summit League championship. And they're from Kansas City. So it's important to have Kansas City kids on our roster. I've talked about this since I've been here about building a fence around Kansas City and the Twins are critical to what we want to do. So it was teamwork, Grant. It was about myself and Candy and her staff getting together and figuring out what made sense for the Twins.
Other than each other, they're not going to have one common teammate for this upcoming season. And they were being pursued by a lot of large institutions that would have loved to have them on their roster. So being able to keep them home was a really, really big deal for the school.
It was. And it sends a message to future recruits throughout Kansas City by keeping them here. And I look forward to both of them having an even better year than they had this past season. And I feel like Candy knows how to position both of them for success, right? So it's not just, coming back and saying, hey, we need you to make a contribution. It's this is how you can make that contribution. And Candy, she's a great technical coach. She's a great evaluator of talent. And I firmly believe that this is going to be a breakout year for women's basketball.
After you got the first one done, was there then this desire to roll up your sleeves and match that on the women's side? Because it feels like that's been accomplished now, and that was no easy task to match what you did on the men's side to go get a leader on the women's side that was equally as experienced, energized, and as great of a fit for the goals of Roos women's basketball as Roos men's basketball.
As an athletics department, we're at an inflection point where this was the time for Kansas City to truly embrace the only Division I team here. And women's basketball was a critical piece to that. And when I think about a coach who can engage the community, who can vitalize our fan base, who can recruit at a high level, and can match the same level of passion and energy and determination and intentionality that Coach Turgeon has done up to this point, there is nobody better than Candy to be able to get that done. So I can't be more pleased about my two basketball coaches. And up to this point, they've built a lot of synergy together in terms of what their goals and aspirations are. and it's going to be a fun year.
She's so young that she could have another 20, 30 years with us now, which is like, that's a crazy thing to think about, but it's just, that's one of the things that got me so excited.
I think now she has even more fire in the tank because the learning curve is done, right? She's gone through the journey of being a younger coach, where sometimes young coaches, they experiment, they try different things, and some things work, some things don't. But now she's mastered her craft. And with that is only going to produce great dividends and great outcomes for her program and for our athletics department.
When we look back on this women's basketball season in 2026, 2027, what do you think we'll look back on this women's basketball season as for the Roos?
Yeah, I think immediately you're going to see a reinvigorated fan base. I think you're going to see a fun team to watch, a team that I can sell as an AD to sell tickets, because we're going to have such a great product on the floor. I think you're going to see great teachers on the sideline, even outside of Candy. You're going to see a good run in the Summit League tournament. And you're going to see people in Kansas City who are going to gravitate and want more. They're going to want more from our women's basketball program. And if we think about the emergence of women's sports nationally, but if we just talk about Kansas City, what better time to have someone like Candy Whitaker in our athletics department? So I'm looking forward to being her partner in this process as we build this program.